Glad to see you, too. I see you're in a surprisingly good mood for someone who was at death's door yesterday.
All the more cause for merrymaking! Even this water now tastes like the finest wine.
Of course. I did bring it all the way from the spring.
And for that, I am in your debt, fair maid. And I'm grateful to you too, Henry. Bojena told me what happened here yesterday. That's the third time you've saved my life. I suppose I'll have to give you some estate or something.
The third time? What in God's name happened the first 2 times?
Now, Henry, don't make her beg. Tell this good maiden of your heroic deeds.
Well, there was this time when me and Hans had some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
And made it mad. And when Hans chased after the wounded animal, he got caught by a human patrol.
Humans?
They come from somewhere in Hungary. Sigismund brought them here to Bohemia as mercenaries. They're a very dangerous bunch.
I told you about them, though. The fellas in the tavern in Zheleov were saying there's some foreigners like that camping in the rocks down by the pond.
What?
It's just what I heard.
Whoa, that's all we need. I hope they don't turn up here. And what could us two do alone against them?
What could they want from us? But if they did come here to rob us, I'd shoot enough arrows into them to make them think twice. But the thing I want to know is, how did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Well, as I said, they took him captive.
There must have been 10 of them. I hadn't a chance.
You must have been seeing double. As I recall, there were 2.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armour. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, audentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favours the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
But you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Talmberg? What was that about then?
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Talmberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat? He got shot in the backside.
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
Yeah, true. I'll never forget you for dragging me all the way here from the lake.
You're quite welcome. The Lords of Lipa do not leave their friends in the lurch.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things. But I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zheleov, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bojena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
But I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that spade. We can't manage without it.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bajana.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlana. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right. We're very glad we met you, and we're obliged to you for your help and hospitality. God bless you.
And you too, sirs.
As Henry says, may God bless you for your generosity and your healing arts. And you have rightfully earned... the gratitude of the House of Lipa for all time. If you should ever find yourself in need, the doors of Perkstein shall always be open to you.
Thank you, sir. Though I'm not sure I could find the way to Perkstein. Hopefully we'll never need to take up your offer. Sorry for coming late, Ma. I got held up in trust. The bits.
Of all places. And it's not the... first time.
I know, but I was going past and I thought I'd try to sell some baskets and ointments there.
Nothing against the hospitality of the good women folk here, but I want to get to Trotsky Castle right away.
What about the rest of our company? Could someone else have got away?
You saw for yourself. They didn't stand a chance. But you're right, we shouldn't just leave it at that. As soon as we get to Trotsky, I'll make sure they get a proper Christian burial and their souls find peace.
And when we get back to Ratai, we'll have a mass served for them.
You're right. They were damned good lads. I've known Oates since childhood. Damn it.
What about Mutt? He's bound to be looking for us, and we can't just abandon him.
Henry, I like your dog, but that's not our priority right now.
He saved my skin.
So did I. First Trotsky, von Bergov and the mission, then we can look for your dog.
All right. But the moment things are sorted out, I'll go looking for him.
I'd expect no less of you. So, should we get going?
Hold on a bit. Before we hit the road, there's something you should know. I have a hunch that one of that band that ambushed us at the pond was Istvan Toth.
Toth? Are you yanking my pizzle? He's long since over the hills and far away.
I know how it sounds, but I saw him. Believe me. I'd never mistake his ugly face after all that happened.
Of course, Henry. I know you have accounts to settle with him, but that's nonsense. Toth is in Sigismund's service and is harassing his opponents. And Otto von Bergov is one of Sigismund's allies. So Toth's hardly going to attack his people. It was dark. God knows what you saw.
I saw him, the bastard, and I'll get him.
Yes, we'll surely get him one day. I promise you. And your sword, too. But I don't think either of them are around here. But I see you haven't wasted any time and found yourself a weapon to replace that sword. That's good. You never know when you might need it around here. Come on, let's get going. Your mind will turn to better things along the way. hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine.
And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed.
And some wine!
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, it's closed. Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. Hear me! Open the gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Fucking shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! Do you know who I am?
No, we fucking don't. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai.
Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, envoy.
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send two vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not.
Your shitty hands off me!
Look, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Well, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
Well, I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
The first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
Hey, where's that beer? What's taking so long?
So we'll earn some.
Earn?
I'm not afraid of work. And we're gonna need every groschen we can get.
And how long will it take for you to earn a few groschen? And where will you find a decent tailor? Before we get ourselves sorted out, Sigismund will be sitting on the throne in Prague.
So what do you suggest? Going back to Ratai?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
A laughingstock? We were outnumbered by a gang of bandits.
Yes, and how come they got away with it? Because we camped at that fucking pond. We've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas, instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
I'm just as much to blame for their deaths as you. We're in this together.
At least we should give them a proper burial as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Pagenas. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food. About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it?
That's that woman from the pond.
Or the one you gave us away for?
Quite fair at that witch. Wench!
What I tell you, what are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word, that's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here.
You're the one from that pond.
Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here, go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
Aye, health, lads. That's the most important thing.
Oh?
Enjoy your...
Oh, hi. Poor Captain Thomas might never get back on his feet. Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead.
Jesus Christ.
Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha! So that's why they sent you for the wine. Wait a moment then. I'll be right back.
Hurt, don't it? At least at first, but then you get all limber and feel great.
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on, are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits? What are you on about?
You were attacked at the pond. You, some other women, and so were we as it happens.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle, and I wasn't at any pond.
What are you playing at, woman? We were attacked by bandits. They killed a lot of people and groped you. If it wasn't for me...
Then what? I'm telling you, I wasn't at any pond. Blimey! I've had lots of men try to woo me with tall stories. But this is the most pathetic attempt yet.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Look, please. I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the king's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
Always ready.
Glad to hear it. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you work your debt off, like I said.
All right. What do you want us to do?
Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house, but as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's where I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks, so they don't touch the damp floor and go mouldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
All right, we'll do it. Carrying a few sacks won't kill us. For sure, it's less daunting work than fighting bandits in the woods.
Aye, it's terrible about them bandits. We never had nothing like that here before. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. Is that clear?
All right, we'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
From far away.
I ain't been further than the back off me whole life, but I know this place inside and out.
What's life like here?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war might be far away, but more and more young lads are going away to fight. But then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around here, and that's a big problem.
Is von Berghoff recruiting men-at-arms?
No, von Berghoff ain't got nothing to do with that. They go of their own free will. They're fed up of ordinary work, so they try their luck elsewhere. It don't occur to them they might not come back. They just see easy earnings. Then the old folks have to do their work in the fields.
Is this the only tavern here?
In Truskovitz it is.
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
Where can I find work around these parts?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me, so don't bother looking anywhere else yet. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open and not be afraid to ask. Try Radovan the smith for one. He's a bit odd, but he'll pay decently for a helping hand. Come to mention it, he's sat just round the corner there, if you want to ask him about it. And that fella next to him is Miller Crazel. He needs helpers now and then. But watch out for him. You know what they say about Millers.
I've heard things, all right.
Well then, be careful.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
Ah, nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Truskovitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bathouse wench.
Who is this Samin?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samin. The fort in the village belonged to him. Old Jan Samin is the head of the family, and his son's called Olda. And it's him who's getting hitched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samin, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svatja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend then.
And careful with them sacks. I don't want you ripping them or anything like that. Here it comes.
What? Oh, with a cup, of course. What do you mean? Deal.
I talked to that woman from the pond.
I noticed. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Berghoff is about to leave the castle.
Sacre! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down. Let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Lord Semin, from the local noble family, is getting married. He's marrying the local bailiff's daughter. It's going to be a big event.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Trotsky be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like von Burgov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
I'll come up with something.
I hope so. You can't expect me to do the thinking for both of us all the time. We'll ask the locals and see.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
And we can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Come on. Nobody will recognize you.
Maybe not now, but what about later? People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar, as if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Oh!
You know, sir, not everyone is born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Ordinary people have to work their whole lives. So you should be able to manage it too, at least for one day.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
I heard they are going to cut down the old oak.
It's a wonder your tongue isn't aching.
Bear in mind that I'm still your master. Enough of your insolence and start accepting your lot. In short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll make it up to you.
I'm going then. But you could give me a hand. It wouldn't do you any harm.
Ah, stop whining. You can manage. Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? Not giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
How generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry. Such is my nature.
Taking their time again. How's luck?
Where is that?
The innkeeper told me we should move the sacks.
So what are you waiting for? I'm bored to death already. I'll move each sack so you can get a better grip on it. But don't expect no more from me.
Christ, pardon me.
bless.
What's taking so long? You're just an idiot, a stupid, ignorant village yokel. Hey, your insults are starting to fucking annoy me. Hey, I certainly did not.
Yes, you did. I never heard of any Perkstein in all my years.
I'm not surprised. You're just a village yokel.
How dare you? I am the son of the...
Now, ignore those people. We don't need any more problems. Don't let them provoke you, all right?
I'm perfectly calm. Some local wretches can't unsettle me. Keep working and take no notice of me.
Don't say another word. Those village yokels aren't worth it.
Henry, stop lecturing me like I'm some little brat and get on with your work.
I'm going for another one. But you really could give me a hand.
No, I couldn't. Trust me on that. You'll be finished in a jiffy.
I heard about the attack by the pond, actually. I heard it was a massacre, and none of the strangers survived.
That was our company. But the two of us managed to get away. It was the
way.
same bandits who attacked Lord von Bergov's men. Why the fuck doesn't anyone believe us?
Maybe because you've got no way of defeating it. We lost.
What did you say? Say it again.
It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? Or what the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
Why the hell do they pour the beer on the table?
But calm down, both of you.
I'm perfectly calm. It's your chum here who's ranting and raving.
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Oh, you want to come to the wedding, do you? Huh. I'll give you a piece of advice, pal. If you can make yourself useful for the blacksmith or the miller, you'll get to the wedding. You'll see the glorious occasion, at least from a distance. And you can stop spouting your pathetic lies.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. La, 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 la. You're starting to bore me, you and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
There's no point in this. Let's leave.
I'd do what your pal says if I were you. Get lost before something happens to you.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me. Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
I'll show you, that fella. He's the one.
To me!
Yeah! Don't hey, get him!
That madman.
You know, you're one ugly...
Good!
Shame on you.
You shouldn't have fought with us, you bastard!
Mercy!
You
I surrender!
get no mercy from me!
Done with you in a flash. You're no match for us, fucking hell.
Slice him up!
Now we'll have you, you scum.
Show your stuff!
Don't spare
Nice! Tracer!
Madman. Why did you do it?
Shit! He's nearly got me!
Nice.
No match for us, fucker! Show your stuff!
You'll never beat me, you swine!
Bastard. Yeah! Don't spare it!
Nice hit!
What are you hopping about for?
Good! I'll rip your ass open! You want to try me?
One for dear old man!
Fucking hell! He knows how to swim!
Oh, Christ! You're not squirming out of this one, asshole!
Wake it!
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly.
Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse.
What?
You behave like a spoilt brat.
How dare you speak...
You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle. But no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that nest.
Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it?
Fuck off.
Shut up! Or you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm sorry, sir, but it's your fault what happened in the tavern.
What? My fault? You can't be serious! Whose fault is it that we're in this fucking pillory?
What? Who started quarrelling with the locals in their tavern? We should have made ourselves scarce. None of that would have happened.
Oh, aye. Typical you, running away like a coward. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Hey, let's just stop all this arguing. It'll just make things worse.
Fuck you. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
Oh, that's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well...
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
Oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I'll have to consider what to do next.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Otto!
Hey! Open Virgo!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight!
What are we going to do? You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Oh. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
Suppose I really do need to...
here.
Hey, did you forget your clothes somewhere?
Well, come on. I don't bite. Aye. You're in the right place. Over here.
What's your story?
What would you say? Right now, I'm slightly scruffy nothing.
But I don't have any money. Look at me. I don't have anything at all.
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And That's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You don't have to thank me. I could have done without it. And that fracas in front of the tavern as well.
Oh well. Not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence. But compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work. To the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
You're something like a wanderer?
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
It's no wonder nobody wants anything to do with me. I look like a vagrant.
At least you're not walking around bare-arsed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a night. And no rusty junk.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah. I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armour, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armour, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly buy new armour now, but you might find something in the town hall armoury, although you'll need quick hands.
Thanks, but I'd rather get my clothes honestly. I just got out of the pillory. I don't want to end up there again.
Well, I'm not pushing you, just giving you a few useful tips. What you do with them is up to you.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay, but you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Oh well. It was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Jesus Christ, be praised.
All done.
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Did you hear about what happened at the Big Wheel?
At the mill?
Yeah, the place by the Zheharovka stream.
What then? Has the water sprite been up to his mischief again?
You could say that. They found a dead body stuck in the wheel on Sunday.
You're kidding. Who was it?
Some vagabond.
God rest his soul.
And get this. Miller Boschka says he was in the water at least a week.
Maybe next time.
Without anyone noticing. Exactly. And that's the point. Dead man.
Wie schade. Auf Wiedersehen.
That's a fine maypole.
What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Go over to the anvil and let's get started. Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up. Try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. Works well. Temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more. It'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. Henry, when you've got a workpiece heated up, you can't just stand there and gape at it. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. That's the ring you want. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easy. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's the ring you want. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. They can't afford it neither.
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house. There are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody'll steal them.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right, here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
Excellent. Excellent. Next time it'll be even better. Greetings to you.
God be with you. How come it... What are you barging in here for? Piss off! What is it, you scoundrel?
What do you have for sale?
Nothing suits your fancy, eh? Careful!
We should do something to Albram's bull. Jesus Christ be praised.
What do you want, you yokel? But make it quick.
What's new around here?
Vostatek. Lord von Beregov's huntsman is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlak Pond. So if you know your way around the woods, you could go and offer him your help. I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. You could also stop by and see Old Mouth. He's the local storyteller. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things. But only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. I'm working on a little... practical joke myself. We have this little dispute with the Gelievites. You might be interested. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. You having problems with the Gelievites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Gelievites right away.
Well, if you've got it all figured out, why don't you do it yourself?
Right. And who's going to run the inn in the meantime, eh? Besides, everyone in Gelioff knows us. If someone from here shows up there, they'll get suspicious.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up, then. Old Albram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Gelioff, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is. The finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective, too. Now you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Well, not really.
All right, it's a little complicated, but I'm sure you'll manage. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
Well, I have to say, I expected this to be easier. You could have at least given me the paint.
Oh, ain't you a little princess? No guts, no glory. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught, or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zhelyov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zhelyevites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper arse-kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way around, and that pasture belonged to Zhelyov.
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Zhelyevites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Olbram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Zhelyevites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Olbram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
I hope you'll be satisfied. My friend.
Kurva. Burning it. I have to hammer it more evenly.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
That's not bad at all.
Christ almighty.
This is going to take a while yet. finish it like this. I should move it. I have to hammer it more evenly. I'll never finish it like this. I should move it. And that's it. It's cold. I should hop over to the forge. Whew. I should move it.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Good day.
I'm always hitting the same place. That's no good. This is going to take a while yet. I have to move it. I've almost got it done. What do you have for sale?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't...
There's a couple more things I'd like to ask about smithing.
Ask away.
Thanks. That's all I need to know. I heard you could teach me something.
It can be done, but it doesn't come free. You know how it is. Years of hard work and self-sacrifice. What is this about?
I'm still not really sure of myself in the forge. Could you show me again how it's done?
Why not? Better to practice now than fuck up an order. Why don't you forge me another hunting sword? Have you got what you need?
Yeah, I have.
Let's see what you can do then. Get to it! I want to see how you'll fare. Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up, but try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above it. Give it a pull. It works the better. But you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Oh, Jesus, it has to be even. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, Get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Well struck. Sparks are flying nicely. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes there you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it. And the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
I'd like to do something about that price.
All right. I'm listening. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Pleasure doing business. Take care. It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Prochek said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade, so I can tell you. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you.
Greetings. Do you need something? Farewell.
Hail Mary.
Burning. I should do it more evenly.
Greetings.
Christ almighty.